Hello, first official video in the new apartment, which is still a work in progress, but good enough to make this video after someone asked on my previous OnlyFans video, how to get it started, how to promote it. So hello, let's start with that. Because I'm also running a sale because July is my birthday month and it's 30% off at $7 now. So perfect timing to get this rolling before that's done. To be quite frank, I kind of just did it. I just made it and started it. I didn't start it right away. I remember for a couple of months when my friend was trying to tell me to start it, and he was like, just do it, do this, do that, because you're worried about money and, society is, but, I kept saying no, I didn't want to do that. And he had ideas of being like, well, why don't you just do like topless reading, from a book and whatever. It took me some time to open up to the idea, but then I was thinking, well, and this is what you should probably be doing, just think about what it is that you want to do for your OnlyFans first. Just brain dump some ideas on a piece of paper or on your phone, Are you going to do no nudity, some nudity, full nudity? Is it just going to be like lingerie photos and videos, boudoir shoots? Or are you going to do explicit activity in videos? Are you going to show face in those videos? I mean, OnlyFans apparently did not start off as an explicit site, and while a lot of people do use it for that, there are some that don't use it for that, or it's like a mix. So just come up with a little bit of a plan, right? What you're gonna price it as and things like that. And because this is something that can be a little bit difficult to start or figure out what it is that you're gonna do, what you're gonna price it as, because there's free pages and paid pages, and I have a paid page. It's just easier for me that way. I watched a lot of videos. I also have a few friends who work as OnlyFans creators, and I just kind of followed the right word. I just, was watching what they were doing, and I was watching these videos. I'll have the name of one person that I watched a lot, a couple of people, somewhere around here. They have a lot of videos on, what to price their stuff, from the subscription itself to the pay-per-view messages and things like that. Obviously, don't do anything that you're not comfortable with. You can start off with really just, if you want to be fully clothed or like half clothed, half nude, right, you can do that. And if eventually you feel a little bit more comfortable with doing more, you can obviously do that. Hi, you wanna come up? You wanna come up? Do you have any advice for the people? I've actually subscribed to a few of my friends' pages to, again, get ideas of what kind of content to make, what to price it as. Even with the subscription, obviously I wasn't going to price it as high as someone who has done a lot of work in this industry for the last couple of years and is very well known, very well loved. And I wasn't sure what to price. Like, oh, if I'm just going to do pictures, if I'm going to send custom pictures of just like me in a t-shirt and then my underwear, right, what's the proper pricing for that? And I've experimented with a lot of pricing, from the more expensive route to now that I have more subscribers than what I originally started with 2 months ago. I can price it down, of course, depending on the content. And as someone who has been on the internet for 10 years, yeah, I was going to price it a little bit more, because also, if the people want it, if they want just a pedicure video, if they literally just want a photo of you and a crop t-shirt and a pair of underwear or some sort of fancy lingerie, if they want it, they will pay. And yeah, there are people who will pay triple digits for stuff. So yeah, don't be afraid to go back and forth on pricing. It might annoy some people, but it is what it is. They don't have to buy it. So as far as promotion goes, yes, it helped that I've had a following for the last decade. I would not even begin to know how to really promote it starting from scratch, because I do have a separate Twitter account for this stuff, but it's not really getting a whole lot of traction, and my main one is really a back and forth, because I've been going back and forth with the idea of, do I just stick it all on the main Twitter, on the main Instagram, or do I split it up? So like if I do promote it on my main Instagram, I keep it PG obviously, because Instagram doesn't like that type of content being talked about on there. And I do also have a separate account on Instagram, but at the same time it's just a pain in the butt, honestly. So if I'm on Twitter, I'll have the photos on there, and then if it's decent enough, I will retweet it, but also sometimes I'll just be like, hey, new photo or something on this Twitter and on the other Instagram, so you can go look over there. Once I made the video for YouTube, that's when my subscribers started to skyrocket. Not astronomically. I guess compared to what it was before, what I was getting before, it was astronomically, but I'm almost at the 100 subs. Not quite there, but almost. One big market that you really could tap into is obviously Reddit. I have my personal issues with Reddit, not necessarily because of Reddit itself, but because of something else. And well, I know obviously some communities on Reddit, there's already stuff about me on there. I don't need to look that up, right? And if I go on there, I'm gonna be tempted. But I don't know, I've never really been much of a Reddit person unless I'm like looking up episodes about Catfish, like the MTV show Catfish, and reading about couples and their people's opinions on that, or some other stuff with horror movies. I know that there's an untapped market on Reddit, and I could be missing a lot from not going on to Reddit, but also Reddit rules and stuff confuse me sometimes. Like if you sign up, then you have to do this and that, and I don't know, I'm a terrible business person in that regard, and I just don't have the patience to do that. But that might be your best bet, especially if you're someone who doesn't already have a following. But for me, I just did it with posting on Twitter, on Instagram, on my Facebook page, my public one, and also my personal one, because I don't care. Again, nobody has to buy it, nobody has to go on it, and I don't care if they do. Just don't be weird about it in person, I guess. And of course, if you have friends who are in the industry, no matter how, what's the word that I'm looking for? Tame? Maybe, no matter how tame they are with the industry, or how explicit they are with the industry, you know, if you make friends with people, better friends, have closer connections and relationships, you retweet them sometimes, they'll retweet you sometimes, or share on Instagram, things like that, and you can get a little lucky that way. You know, not the follow for follow type of deal that a lot of people used to do back then. You remember, on YouTube especially, sub for sub, don't do that type of thing, because that never works out. But, you know, genuine connections with people, and you can get lucky. One of my favorite Twitch streamers that I have met in person, I've become acquaintances with, we follow each other on both types of Twitters now, and she retweeted me once, and you know, that was pretty nice, and I've retweeted her stuff as well. And occasionally I do talk about it on TikTok too. I'm gonna be like writing about it on Patreon and stuff like that, so every little bit helps, right? Overall, you know, make a little bit of a plan. You don't have to make it so concrete, because things can change when you're trying. You want it to be tame as possible at first. You don't want to do these certain things only. You may branch out. It's just, start it out and see how it goes. I made my page a week and had it as kind of a soft launch, where I was just like messing around with stuff, and then eventually that was the hard launch. I want to say it was in May. And, you know, things have changed since then. Things might still be changing. It could be a lot to, you know, keep up with. So don't be afraid to make changes, and you don't have to be so like, oh my god, why is this not perfect? It's the same like YouTube, right? Your first video is always gonna suck on YouTube, and to be honest, the first few videos might be weird and wonky. It happens, especially with something, depending on how vulnerable, how explicit, or whatever you want to be on OnlyFans, you might be a little bit awkward at first, and I know I was. That's when I learned, you know, things that I would be comfortable with doing or wouldn't be comfortable with doing, like some sexy dancing videos. I'm terrible at that, so I'm probably never gonna do that again, because I don't know. Or if you want to show your face, or don't show your face, because sometimes you might be more comfortable if you're not showing your face. Obviously, if you have tattoos, that makes it a little bit more difficult, but, or you could just buy stuff to cover it. Makeup is expensive, but if you wanted to get like fishnet mesh or something, I don't know. But yeah, and with promotion, as much as you can do. But yeah, you might want to consider doing completely separate Twitters or Instagrams or whatever, because your friends might not necessarily want to see that, and I understand why. That's a little bit of a battle, because one way your main social media is much better because there's going to be more eyes on it, but at the same time. But yeah, there's a reason why I keep it more PG when I'm talking about it, because obviously I do have a little bit of a younger following, but that's why I also have the separate social media accounts more specifically for that type of stuff. But yeah, hope that helps a little bit. Again, you're welcome to leave comments. I am no professional by any means. I'm still, you know, learning as is. So again, I will leave YouTube channels and stuff down below, and hopefully it helps. So of course I have links to my stuff down below, and also if you want a safe for work option for supporting my content, which is also what I wanted to be my main support system in terms of content stuff, I do have a Patreon for as low as $1 a month. There's lots of content for you. Book reviews, movie reviews, accessibility articles, and tech stuff. Screaming cats. Come here. And supporting either the Patreon or the OnlyFans helps support this little kitty with kidney disease and arthritis, and he's going through it lately and not really wanting to jump on the bed for some reason, even though he was fine after his pain medication. And I think this one's doing better with whatever he was dealing with, but how can you say no to that face? Can you even see that face? Is the lighting that, well, the lighting's not great. Hopefully once I get the living room more situated, will be better. Can you see that face? How can you say no to that face? I love you even if you want to choke me to death right now. Okay. Subscribe for potentially more videos about this, and I also talk about, you know, deafness, disability, whatever. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and I will see you later. Bye.